The Greek island of SIFNOS is located in the western Cyclades, in the middle of the Aegean Sea. There are important archaeological findings on the island dating back several thousand years. The first known silver mine in the world is in the area of Isostis on the eastern coast of the island. In the beginning of the 3rd millennium BC, several subsequent mines producing gold, copper, and iron helped SIFNOS become one of the wealthiest places in the ancient world and one of the centers of pro-Cycladic civilization. There was also a special stone particular to SIFNOS from which many artifacts, household goods, and glass were made. Archaeological excavations revealed prehistoric findings and tombs in Akrotiri near Platialos in the east of the island and Punda near Vathi in the southwest of the island. At the top of Valles Andreas mountain are 10,000 square meters of ruins, an important, very well preserved Mycenaean acropolis of the 13th century BC. Some findings date back to the Neolithic age and are exhibited in a small museum next to the Acropolis. The Acropolis of Valles Andreas received the Europa Nostra Award in 2012 as an exceptional example of cultural heritage preservation. The ancient inhabitants of SIFNOS used to share the gold they produced among themselves. Every year, 10% of the gold was sent to Delphi to honor the god Apollo. The treasury of the Sifnians was built in Delphi with white Paros marble and was among the first all-marble buildings on mainland Greece. This masterpiece of ancient architecture and sculpture contains karyatides, statues of dressed women, originally used as columns about 100 years before the famous Erechtheion temple next to the Parthenon on the Athens Acropolis. The late Manolis Andronikos, distinguished archaeologist who discovered and excavated the royal Macedonian tombs in Vergina, considered the treasury of the Sifnians to be the best example of ancient architecture and sculpture. The Sifnians were the first to mint gold coins in Greece. They were also the first to have engraved both sides of the coins. SIFNOS reached its peak in the 6th century BC with 4 acropolis and 3 settlements. In one of those settlements, Castro, formerly known as Asti, in the eastern side of the island were several beautiful buildings such as a Prytanion, an agora built with white Paros marble, a big temple, and a theater dedicated to Dionysos. Castro has been continuously inhabited since ancient times and has maintained the same medieval architecture of a fortified village. It is a historical site open to the public. Engraved ancient marble sarcophagi on the sides of narrow streets, house walls with built-in ancient columns, big gates known as loggias, meaning a gallery at ground level, allowing admission to the village and providing protection from pirates and other invaders. In the 6th century BC, a marble acropolis was built at the top of the village, the only marble wall of that period in the Cyclades. In order to protect their wealth from enemy attacks, the SIFNOS built a network of towers all around the island. Archaeological research has discovered 76 such towers. This equals to 1 tower per square kilometer. They were typically 2-story, round stone buildings erected between the 6th and 3rd century BC. They were used both as fortifications and communication points, sending and receiving messages through smoke, glass, or mirrors. They could communicate with other towers of SIFNOS and of other islands, even with those of the Peloponnese, weather permitting. Some of these towers are easily accessible today, while others require extensive walking and searching to be found. Every year since 2003, on the eve of the Ascension, 7 weeks after Easter, the ancient communication system is revived for a few minutes thanks to volunteers who go to all the towers and acropolises on the island. SIFNOS is an island of exceptional natural beauty, protected by environmental preservation laws and decrees. It is an ideal place for hikers, with more than 200 kilometers of ancient stone paths leading to remote churches, monasteries, abandoned mines, and beaches. The south of Prophet Elias Mountain has been included in the European network of protected flora and fauna areas known as Natura 2000. On the beaches of Camares and Vafi flourishes a special species of small lily, Pancratium maritimum, declared a rare endangered species by the Council of Europe. SIFNOS has many traditional churches, houses, and villages built by local craftsmen, lasting for centuries and meticulously preserved by successive generations of Sifnians. Typical characteristics of SIFNOS architecture are whitewashed houses with clay chimneys known as flari, flat roofs allowing rainwater to be collected and preserved in underground chambers or sternes, stone-paved courtyards and paths with hand-painted armi, the narrow lines encircling the stones, windmills, dovecots, hundreds of churches. SIFNOS has a particular system of land terraces with walls built hundreds of years ago at an enormous human effort in order to retain the soil and the water, enabling the land to be cultivated. Many foreign architectural students come to SIFNOS to study its unique Cycladic architecture. The first recorded school on SIFNOS dates back to the beginning of the 17th century. Since that time, primary, secondary schools, special language schools, and a music school have produced an important educational tradition. The most distinguished school was the School of the Holy Tomb, now the Cemetery of Castro. This was the first known higher education establishment in Greece. Its graduates included several patriarchs of Constantinople and probably the most prominent Sifnian, Nikolaos Chrysogelos, from Artemon, who became the first minister of education of the modern Greek state in 1829. He also introduced primary education for all children. There has been a large number of highly educated Sifnians who have excelled at education, journalism, philosophy, or literature. To mention but a few who lived in the late 19th and early 20th centuries are Ioannis Griparis from Artemon, poet, translator, and first director of the National Greek Theatre. Apostolos Makrakis from Katavati, philosopher and theologian. Aristomenes Provelengios from Exabela, poet, member of parliament, and member of the National Academy. Kleanthis Triantafylos, militant journalist, publisher, and poet. Cultural tradition is part of everyday life in SIFNOS, and in 2007 the island was awarded the Swiss Tourism Organization Prize as the Island of Poetry and Culture. There are many festive occasions, including New Year's Day, the Carnival, Easter, the 1st of May, and the Ascension of Christ, with many preserved rituals and customs. The island also celebrates name days and weddings. Religious celebrations, panegyria, in remote churches are typical events in Sifnian life. On the eve of a saint's name day, usually just after 7 p.m., pilgrims congregate at the saint's church and participate in a religious ceremony. When the ceremony finishes, dinner is served to everybody attending. It usually includes chickpea soup, olives, spaghetti, goat meat and tomato sauce, and plenty of wine. There is often live folk music, violin and lute, singing and dancing. Several cultural events organized by Sifnian local authorities and cultural societies take place throughout the year, and in particular during the summer months. They include art exhibitions, theatrical plays, literature meetings, and music concerts. SIFNOS produces fine quality clay. From the Iron Age, SIFNOS has been one of the most important ancient pottery centers. Several Sifnian potters have established themselves as potters and teachers in Sifnos and other parts of Greece and the world. Sifnian potters can be found in Paros, Kythnos, Naxos, Aegina, Lesbos, Crete, Athens, Thessaloniki, Volos, and Kalamata, as well as Ethiopia, Congo, Chile, and the USA. Sifnian pottery flourished at the beginning of the 19th century with 48 workshops exporting their products to Turkey, Palestine, Egypt, and Malta. Today there are 18 pottery workshops producing a large variety of decorative and house utility goods. The combination of clay cooking pots, high-quality agricultural products, and personal dedication has helped to create a rich culinary tradition on SIFNOS. The name of the most famous Sifnian cook, Nikolas Tselemides, has become a household name in Greece, a synonym to cookery book. Tselemides was born in Exambela, studied and taught cooking. He worked as top chef in a number of embassies and in 1910 published the first cookery book in Greece. Several Sifnians have followed his example and have become famous chefs in Greece and abroad. Each September, the SIFNOS Cultural Association organizes a 3-day Tselemides Food Festival. Delegations from many Cycladic islands present their local recipes and offer their delicacies to hundreds of visitors. SIFNOS has an established reputation as one of the cleanest places in Greece. 2012, National Geographic magazine awarded SIFNOS the status of one of the 10 best islands in the sun.